Okay, boom. Yeah.
I'm tryna book my flight today. Straight flight from New York to the air. Don't have no stress, my bills done pay.
Yeah, boy.
Love you too.
Let's go now.
Yeah, love you too. Yeah, love you too.
Wow.
Love you too.
Yeah.
Love you too. From England, fighting hand. What's the vibes? What's the plan? Shall we bar with me dancing?
We be dancing. Link the crew, what they do? Get some girls, set the mood. Love you do is the anthem.
Love you too.
I tell you, love you do.
Love you too. Love you too.
You mad?
Love you too.
Life sweet, that's what people say. When they hear the booyah music, that does make them want to stay. Welcome to the air, we don't care what people say. Once we are rum, rhythm and woman, everything will be okay. She vex, I don't marry her for peppers. Girl,
That is you.
that your business way. Watching New York dying in a wedding, but some Dominica.
Love you too.
Yo,
From England, fighting hand. What's the vibes? What's the plan? Shall we bar with me dancing?
link the crew, what they do? Get some girls, set the mood. That we do is the anthem.
Love you too.
Yeah, boy,
Love you too.
I'm telling you.
Love you too. Love you too. Bring me closer to the sun. Give me water, sea and sun. Wanna feel the island breeze. From me touch so me tan. Couple bands up with me and it ain't nothing, no we need it. It's lit. I read. That is it. Don't give a damn about no sleep. Touchdown, match up the place, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, okay, boom.
From England, fighting on. What's the vibes? What's the plan? Shall we bar with me dancing?
Link the crew, what they do? Get some girls, set the mood. That we do is the anthem.
Love you too.
Life sweet, baby.
Love you too. Love you too.
Merci beaucoup.
Love you too. Love you too. Love you too. Love you too. Love you too.
Wow. You don't know. Foreign life can never be better than island life. You mad?
Love you too.
Dominic, I come out, boy.
Alrighty, yo. So, here we are. Hopefully the stream is gonna be started in the best way possible. Let's see if we can get this going. Alrighty, welcome guys back to the stream. My name is Cash, and today we are back in the ATR 72 600. We're flying the Caribbean Airlines Livery, and yeah, we're about to do pretty long stream in the ATR. I mean, we're gonna do a lot of different legs, and we are currently, you know, just setting up our flight plan and everything. Right now, again, we're flying for Caribbean Airlines Virtual, and the thing we are going to be doing right now is, I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing it on VATSIM. I'm still going to select VATSIM as my client. However, we're just going to go ahead and, you know, set up our... Okay, there is a severe rainstorm coming. Alright, stand by, guys. Alrighty, sorry about that, guys. So, the weather kind of turned up there a little bit, so we're just gonna go ahead and continue what it is that we are doing. The weather is getting a little bad out there. Our sea is kind of rough out, and it's rough housing. So, today we're gonna be flying from Dominica down to St. Lucia, in the ATR 72. We're climbing up to flight level 160 with a cost index of 15. Passengers, just about 62 passengers with about 1,434 kilos of cargo. Alrighty, we are showing a block fuel of 1,593. However, I'm going to increase that block to be a little bit higher. We're going to do at least 2,500 kilos of fuel. That way we are able to do a secondary flight without having to worry about our fuel capacity or anything like that. It's something that is typical around the Caribbean where the block will be increased, so the fuel itself will be increased to make flights around, make a lot more flights around. Alright, let's go ahead and hop into the cockpit here. We're in a cold and dark cockpit, which is something that we always start up as. So initially we're just going to go ahead and check off a few things. And I'm not seeing my checklist sheet. I'm going to have to pick up my checklist sheet. Stand by. Alrighty, so here we go. We are now ready as we got our checklist out of our bag. So we do have a cockpit preparation checklist. So what we're gonna do is try to get some power in the aircraft. That way we could, start setting up. So first of all, we're gonna go ahead and switch our battery master to on. We're gonna switch on our nav lights. And let's do ours. Emergency lights are on. Engage our external power and our external power, our AC power. Sorry. Our cockpit lights are as required. Standby compass is off. Right over here. Wipers are off. Fuel pumps and cross feed. We do have our fuel pump, which is our fuel pumps here. And we're all set with that. Doors are checked. Our landing gears are down 3 greens. TLU is guarded and auto. MFC lights extinguished. Engine 1 fire test. Alright, engine 1 fire, loop test, and the squib test has been complete. Nav lights are on. Hydraulic power is on. Prop brake is off. We are not using prop brake today. Engine mode selector is off. Start, abort. DC Gen 1 and 2. We got that DC generator on. It has a fault. DC service utility bus is on. Seatbelt signs are going on now. Emergency exit lights are armed. Windshield heating left and right, they're on. AC Wild Gen 1 and 2, those are on. Cockpit and cabin temperatures are as required, they're all set. Engine fire test. And squib, check. Trims are neutral. Idle gate is set. Gust lock is engaged. Parking brake is set. Power levers are idle, ground idle. Condition levers are fuel shut off. Flaps are retracted. Weather radar is at standby. Power management is set to TO. Landing gear handle is down. Cabin pressurization panel is checked. Alright, flight guidance control panel. We're going to go ahead and set our runway heading. Alright, set to 094. And our alt selector. We're going to be setting that up to 5,000. That is checked. Com nav and surveillance. Our comms are 118. We should be 118. That's set. And then 122.800. That is checked. Alright. We need to file our flight plan with VATSIM, so we're going to be doing what we're doing. So this is where we're continuing with it. Our call sign today is Caribbean 283. So we're going to go ahead and check that in. We'll submit our flight plan to ATC. So that's where our first officer comes in, and he is going to do whatever it is that he is doing on his end here. So while we go ahead and continue to set up. So he's the one doing the walk around. He's doing everything, whatever it is that he's doing on his end. We're going to hide this. And we're in our FMS. So we're in the avionics here. All right, let's go ahead and import our flight plan here. And there we go, from Dominica to St. Lucia. Our METAR is, our winds are 100 at 7 knots. Our visibility is good. We have a few clouds of 1,500 scattered at 1,900. Temperature 2.25, QNH 1015. We have that set. And we're gonna set our flight plan in our FMC here. We're gonna set the fuel. Gonna set the payload. We still have to go ahead and do this at the end of the day, but all right, so that is checked, but the fuel is being set in here. So we're gonna set our departure 09 carat 1 departure, and it's gonna be over to Fort de France. That's executed. So our departure is gonna take us out to Carat and then out to Fort de France. Oh, nope, that's a GTN. I thought that was Navigraph charts. There we go. It's been a while since I've used Navigraph charts to do anything here, as a matter of fact. And I'm gonna sign in because I've never used it on the sim. I always use it outside of the sim because I feel the need to use it that way. We're gonna approve it. The account has been linked. And there we go, we got it. You guys can see the amount of flights that we have done so far. We're gonna import the flight from SimBrief. And the flight has been imported. There we go. Oof. Dominica, we're Carrot Run to Fort de France. So you see I did it before even looking. So I know exactly what the departure and the arrival is gonna be like. So we're gonna select an arrival. This is an RNAV, runway 09er. We need it on final, so we can do from Fort de France transition, and then we're flying in. So let's add that to our route. And there we go. So once we hit Fort de France, we're cutting out, and then we're making it in. There may be a chance when the aircraft is going to make a circle in. If it does attempt to do so, we will manually take control, and then we'll fly this aircraft in. No problem. All right, so let's go ahead and close this. And next, this is the one that we select, RNAV. We're going to execute that. Let's clear this. Let's take out our destination. Let's take this, and we're going to execute. So we have a departure, and we have our arrival already set. All right, so now that we're here, don't tell me we have to load that up again. That's why I like using it on the. That's why I like using it from our stuff here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pull up here for our. We're gonna pull up the RNAV departure. So we're gonna be completing our departure briefing today. We are flying the ATR 72-600 out of Dominica. We already went over the weather and our chart today. We're gonna be using the Caribbean 1 departure, RNAV GNSS departure. Chart is 10-3, which was revised 3rd of February 2023. All right, so the Caribbean 1 departure is, we're departing on a heading of 085. So we're going over to Fort de France. So at Caribbean, we're turning right via track 147 to Ingram, then a right turn via track 192 to Fort de France VOR. All this is going to be done via nav, but we are going to be climbing out, and we're going to be making that right-hand turn out, and we're going to head over to Fort de France. All right, our weather today is looking pretty okay. If we looked outside, we are able to see all the necessary information. We're going to pull up the other departure chart so we can see exactly what we look like here. We're at the ramp here. We're going to be taxiing out. Most likely, we're going to be getting a Charlie taxi out. We're going to be taxiing down to the end of the runway 09er. Heading at 085 degrees, so we're going to go ahead and reset that to 085. Before, in the previous sim, they used to have it at 094, but we're going to go ahead and put it at 085. There we go. We'll be taxiing out via Charlie onto the runway, turn around, and then we're going to go ahead and perform our takeoff. Now, we're on VATSIM, so once we get on to VATSIM, we will be calling on the local frequency. That local frequency is going to be posted here. So 118.9, and we have 118.9 set. Alrighty, so that should be pretty much all that we need to know. The departure out here may be a little bit turbulent because of the waves that do crash out off of our. Alright, so basically when we're departing off of runway 09er and we take off, there may be a little bit turbulence on departure because we will be getting some winds that are gonna, some updrafts that are gonna be coming off the seawall, and that is gonna, create a little bit of, it's gonna be a little bit of bumps, so to speak. So we're gonna, that's pretty much it. There's nothing much more that we can talk about here. Besides the amount of passengers that we do have on board, our flight plan is set and our payload is being checked up. We're all set with that, and I think I am all good. We're going based on 0 fuel weight, so let's go ahead and take a look at our flight plan here. So we're departing flaps 15. Our derate, we're not using a derate. Our V1 should be 109, VR 109, V2 112. Our bleeds are going to be on for a departure. We have a 4-knot crosswind with a 6-knot headwind. Arrival to runway 09er is going to be wet with a 10-knot headwind, 3-knot crosswind. we're going to be doing a pretty nice cruise profile and a 2,000 feet per minute descent profile once we get over there. Now again, we're going to be departing with 2,500 pounds, so that's 1,000, not pounds, but kilos, 1,000 kilos extra on top of the 1,593 kilos that we're going to be departing with. Our scheduled block time is about 50 minutes. We're estimated to fly over there in about 48 minutes, and we have about 2 hours and 45 to 3 hours of endurance. Flight level today is going to be flight level 160. We're cruising at 0.43 Mach. Our transition altitude is 9,000. And we have an average temperature deviation of 1.5. Right, 112 nautical miles to get over there. Today we're not full. We have 62 passengers on board with a total of 1,434 kilos of cargo. That gives us a total of 63,555 kilos of payload. Our zero fuel weight today is going to be 19,855, so we're going to go ahead and set that in here. And our fuel weight is going to be 2,500 kilos, so that's loaded in. We're going to close that. Going to set our takeoff trim. Let's check our fuel. We have to reset our fuel used, and yeah, pretty much that is where we're at right now. We have no issues with terrain on our departure. On our landing, we will discuss that once we are in position for our approach briefing. So that covers everything that we're going to be doing here. We are expected to use 477 kilos. Our main takeoff fuel is 1560, so that's 1560 kilos. Our planned takeoff fuel is 1560 kilograms. We're lookout for that. We're still a little bit heavier than what we are expecting in terms of our fuel weight, but that's all fine. It's not a problem. All right, so we're going to go ahead and perform our electronic checklist, and our departure briefing has been complete. So our checklist date, all right, procedure is complete. We checked that. All right, so we're going to go through our electronic checklist while our first officer is doing the walk around. Our parking brake is engaged. Altimeters are set in check 29907, which is 1015. Landing elevation is checked. FMS comm nav is set. Fuel quantity, fuel on board is checked. Although we have like 10, it's not a problem. Should be resetting our fuel used, which it did not pop up here for me. And let's see if we can get it here. TO data, reset the fuel used, so that's back at 0. Usually it automatically pops up, but it did this time. That's reset. Memo panel is checked. Power management is takeoff, and that checklist is complete. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and perform our boarding. Fueling is already done. We refueled last night, so this is basically us taking off after doing all of our refueling and so on last night. Some of our bags are going to be going into the service door. So our service door is opened. I don't think they did board in.
Boarding requested.
There we go. Now it's requested. Let them go ahead and do whatever it is that they go do on their side. All right, so we have our electronic checklist has already been set. Everything is set up, and we're all set for our boarding. So, no.
Do you want to board crew?
Let's just board our crew should be on board already, because usually here in the Caribbean, all like captain or all crew members tend to board together. So this crew bus is not necessary. We don't use a crew bus. You just walk out from the departure area, which is on that side over here. Not sure if GSX can decide to fix whatever it is that they do with that. So
crew boarding
we're all set up here. Let's go ahead and check our performance here. Let's check our departure. So we're gonna be, it was supposed to be 109, 109, 112, but we're gonna do 112, 112, 115 because of the fact that we did increase our fuel weight. So, all right, so max cruise altitude, we're not cruising at 5,000, we're going up to 16,000. There we go, we've set, but because we have it set 5,000 here in our, here, that's why it popped up.
Your
It
passenger
showed up
loss
there
is
like
coming.
that. Weights are checked, 19,855, fuel on board is 2,500 kilos, and we have a gross weight of 22,355 kilos with a reserve fuel of 600 kilos. I don't think that is fully correct. So let's just verify. Okay, so it's supposed to be 891.
Passengers boarding starting.
So we're gonna change that. Hopefully you can. There we go. 891 kilos of reserve fuel on board. And we are getting ready for the boarding. All right, there goes our passengers. So our passengers is gonna be boarding. We don't use this. We usually just grab and push in, but that's how it is. They want to do it, let them do it. Okay. So everything else here is set. Switch on our no device lights. Our windshield heating is set to on. All right, we're all good. There we go. Let's test number 2. Come on. I said check. There we go. Everything else is tested here. Anti-skid test. All right, there we go. We're doing most of all the tests. They do the self-test, so we're gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that because I completely forgot what that one does, so I'm not. I'm kind of skeptical about interfering with certain things. Yeah, I'm kind of skeptical about doing certain things. We set our flight recorder, ground control is set to on. All right. We're all good here. Gust lock is on. Our weather radar, I believe this weather radar works. Set that to standby. All right, once we start up, we should get this to work the way that it should. All right, so we're just waiting for our boarding to complete. All right, so our packs have boarded. And now we're just gonna go ahead and close our service door because we're gonna go ahead and start up in hotel mode. Here comes our baggage, which did some wild stuff. There we go, baggage is being loaded. And Yeah, we should be all set here. With our hotel mode, we need to have our wheel chocks in. We're still waiting for them to complete what it is that they're completing right there. So we're going to go ahead and start up in hotel mode, which is going to allow us to get electrical power before we decide to pull the thing. We're going to start hotel mode once he starts the second baggage cart right there. That way, that gives them enough time to do everything that they're going to be doing. All right, so we've just loaded up our flight for Caribbean Airlines Virtual. So it is, we're supposed to depart at 11:39 a.m., but it's 7:52 a.m. Basically, the aircraft slept over. We're going to go ahead and fly back down to Trinidad and then, you know, the crater beyond. All right, we're starting the flight right now. All right, we've muted it. Let's do some settings. Our simulator, we checked, verify, FSU IPC, our sound. It's good. Log, change log. I'm just checking out the settings that we have here because it's not something that is that I'm accustomed to. It's something new. It's a new Pegasus program. All right, so it's our new aircrafts program. There we go. We are. Oh, so he's completed that first one. All right, so we're gonna start up in hotel mode. Our fuel pump for the right engine is on. Service door is closed. So that fuel pump is at run. So we're gonna go ahead and engage our prop brake. We're gonna select our hydraulic auxiliary pump. And I have to move my camera views around. We're gonna engage our prop brake. Ready, prop brake is set. And we are ready to engine start selector. We're going down to AMB. Engine to start. It's on. We can see our NH rotation right there. At 17, we're going to go ahead and engage our fuel. Put this to feather. Alright, so there we go. Engine start selector to off aboard. And then our external power, we're switching that off. Alright, AC wild power is off. We're gonna let GSX know we no longer need their GPU, so we're gonna dismiss the GPU from GSX. Push that button. Move AC. Move our DC. Oh, he has a third one as well. That's interesting. I didn't even see a third. Oh, yes, there was a third one. That was my mistake. All right, so we are in hotel mode, and GSX has taken away our, we should say, ground handlers limited has taken away our ground power. Ground handlers is loading our aircraft here for us. And we should be all right now. Right now we're just waiting for the ground handlers to complete their baggage loading before we can continue. So these are, you will see it, it'll pop up, not a problem. All right, there's our V-speeds popping up right now. They're in magenta and we're all set. So we don't have any traffic that's flying into Dominica. You don't typically see a lot of flight traffic into Dominica on VATSIM. Mainly persons who do fly the Caribbean a lot will fly into Dominica. Right now we're squawk 7000, 118.9. We're at 15 feet. We're departing early. And we've been online for like about 16 minutes. All right, so our alternate today is going to be in Barbados, which I don't see the reason why we're going to be flying off to Barbados for. Shouldn't be too much of a big deal, but we do have enough fuel to make it to Barbados if in the event that we do need to. Again, this is a full flight, so we are going to be operating as, you know, the way that the carrier would be doing it. It's fully loaded, which means that all the checklists will be done. All the delays that you would normally expect. You don't typically expect delays with the ground handling crew like this because the baggage will be loaded while the passengers are being loaded. But in GSX fashion, there are certain times when everything gets screwed up, or they want to load, like you know, they do it, but it's kind of a hit and miss whenever they're ready. All right, so our boarding is completed, and we're ready to go right now. So we're going to go ahead and move the tail prop. That's what the ground handlers does. They're going to close that door, and our cabin crew is going to close that main door, our main door. All right, so we're here, we're all set, we're connected, and we're just going to go ahead and complete our before propeller rotation checklist. Gonna go ahead and switch our beacon lights to on. CDLS is on. FMS takeoff data is confirmed. Trims 3-axis are set. Tail prop is on board. Our door is closed. Seatbelt signs are on. Beacon lights are on. Our procedure is complete. And we're gonna go ahead and continue. All right, so now that we got it, usually Caribbean Airlines tends to just start up the engines and taxi out, start up the left engine and then taxis out. But we're starting up with our hotel mode, so we're all set. I'm gonna remove the chocks, so there goes our ground handling, and let's just confirm that we did have ground handlers tell us that we are able to taxi out. So we're all set with that. We're gonna go ahead and get our prop brake disengaged, so we're gonna go ahead and start up. Hydraulic pumps off. We're gonna unlock our prop. There we go. Props are unlocked. All right. There we go. All right. So Alright, so our prop brake is off and our NP engine 2 is set to auto. Engine start selector is going to go over to A and B. Engine start, our fuel pump is going to go on. We're going to go ahead and engage our start lever for our engine number 1. At 17, we're going to go ahead and engage to feather. All right, now we're going to go ahead and put our ignition lever to auto. And then start selector over to anchor board. Probe seating is on already. Transponder TCAS. We're going to go over to our surveillance right here. And our transponder TCAS is set to on. TCAS is set to auto. Go back to COM. And our engine start checklist is complete. Alright, so we're going to be using our electronic checklist moving forward from here. Definitely gonna remove this from my throttles. We're all set down here. All right, so it looks like the weather is moving out a little bit, and we should be all okay. Wing light set to on. All right, before taxi checklist, FWS is recalled, which is down on our thing. Cockpit comm hatch is closed. Condition level 1 and 2 is auto. Anti-icing is as requested. TRU is checked. Anti-skid test has already been performed. Flaps is going down, select 15. And our nose wheel steering is on. Our checklist is complete. Alright, so we're ready to go. So we'll notify our ground staff that we're ready to go, and we're at taxi takeoff light set to on. Parking brake is off. Gonna taxi out. We're gonna perform our CO config test. Aircraft is gonna roll out a little bit. We're gonna be taxiing out here. So we've got taxi checklist here. Taxi takeoff lights is on. Brake check. Pressure's in. Guidance panel and FMA is set and checked. CO config has been performed. Our checklist is complete. Douglas Charles traffic, Caribbean 283, we're taxiing to runway 09er via Charlie backtrack runway 27 on the show.
09.
Now, we don't typically have runway awareness enabled on this aircraft, but it's there, it's available, and we're taking it. Right, so we're taxiing onto our runway here. And we're on runway 27 right now.
Runway 27. 700 meters remaining.
Alright, so we're still continuing our taxi out. Pitch trim is set. Everything looks good. And we are on a beautiful taxi out. We're heading down. There's not much to do right now but just taxi down so that we can get down to the end of the runway, and then we're going to turn around and then we're going to perform our flight control check. So we're performing a takeoff briefing at this current time. We are taking off runway 09. Our heading is set 085. After departure, we're climbing via the current 1 departure up to 5,000, and we're going up to flight level 160. Transition altitude is 90,000. We should be airborne by Alpha. We will only stop if in the event that we have an engine fire or engine out below V1. After V1, we will take it airborne. You will notify ATC and that we are of our intentions, and we are going to attempt to make a return back to land here at Douglas Charles. The aircraft is pretty okay. We have no issues that we need to worry about. And yeah, our takeoff briefing is complete. Really, not much to say about it.
30 meters remaining.
All right, let's turn here. We're going to turn on the captain's side.
On runway 27. On runway 27.
Alright, the power on this aircraft is ridiculous.
On runway 09.
Alright, our brakes are set. Dust lock is off. Flight controls. We're gonna perform our flight controls check. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral. Transponder TCAS is check, airflow is normal, cabin crew is advised, engine bleeds are as required. We can go ahead and turn off our engine bleeds if I can remember where the heck my engine bleeds are. That usually is done by the thing over there. You know what? We're okay. We're leaving our engine bleeds on. I'm not gonna think it's somewhere all the way over here. That's why it's the FO who does that. For a takeoff checklist, we're gonna complete all this. And we're all set with this. Alright, lateral flight director bar. We're gonna go ahead and click our go around mode. Rudder cam is center, exterior lights are on. Strobe lights are on. Ready to go. Look at show traffic, Caribbean 283, we're departing runway 09 of you, the Carrot 1 departure, Fort de France transition, climbing to 5,000, Douglas Charlotte. Alright, so we're going to be leaving Douglas Charlotte right now.
On runway 09. On runway 09.
Thrust set. Airspeed's alive. $80 knots. B1, rotate. Positive brake. Gear going up. Get our nose down so we can get a little bit of pitch here. We're going to switch to nav mode. We're going to switch to VNAV IAS. The aircraft is going to level out a bit just for it to increase its airspeed. Our flaps are coming up. We're going to turn our bleeds back on. Flaps have gone up. Right, so after takeoff checklist, landing gear is up, power manage, flaps are up. Let's turn off our taxi takeoff lights. Power management is climb, engine bleeds on, taxi takeoff lights are off, altimeters are set and checked. And here we go with our climb out. Normally I would use our vertical speed for us to do our climb out, but it's okay. That's not meant to be seen. All right. Now we're gonna set our altitude up to 16,000. Is set. We're going for our after takeoff checklist. We're gonna switch our weather radar on to weather. All right, landing gear is up, flap 0, power management climb, engine bleeds on, taxi takeoff lights are on, altimeters are set and checked, and our procedure is completed. I'm surprised at how hot it just got immediately after the rain just decided to pop off, but it's okay. As you see, we do have some clouds out here, so we are climbing up above the clouds. Throttles do have the ability to behave erratically whenever they feel like it. So like right now, they're not behaving. Only place they behave is right here, so we'll leave it there. Seeing that it does behave while it's there, we leave it there. All right, we're gonna go ahead and let the passengers be able to move around. Not past 10,000 yet. And again, we're airborne, so we should. We're crossing at least 6,000 right now. 6,600. We're climbing up to flight level 160. We still got 10,000 to go. We're at our low notch, so we're not at high notch, but we're okay. We're going over to Fort de France right now. Again, we're at low notch. Triple to our flight plan. And we have nothing left to do but just climb out. Really. Alright, we're gonna go vertical speed so we can start climbing out a little bit faster because I don't really like the performance we're getting. giving ourselves a little extra power for us to climb out. The climb profile is 170 knots. That's what we have it set up for. But we do have a pretty strong crosswind coming out this way. 23 knots as we climb. Run our IAS as we cross 10,000 so we can increase our speed. We don't want to descend out of there, but we want to climb as quickly as possible, and then we're pretty much gone, or guaranteed a nice little amount of power. We're just trying to stabilize our power here. Again, my throttles are not as precise as I want them to be. Because from what I know, this is supposed to be precise as all living heck. Alright, so we're at 10,000 feet. Our line of lights go off. Our anti-ice is as required, and we're all set. We got our passenger signs off. Can't see Fort de France, but this is a little peak right there. We're on weather G-map. Why did it go all the way to G-map? Switch to weather and turbulence.
Altimeter setting.
Forgot to standard. There we go. Thank you. I almost thought it would be 18, although we did brief it, but usually it should be more exciting flying out here. Nothing much more to talk about or to do, especially when we are heading out here. So what we'll do is pull up our navigap charts here so we can set up everything else in terms of our arrival. Now we're still in the process of climbing, so we're going to go ahead and pull up our nav chart for us to see where we're at. We're going down to 2,000 and our final approach fix is at 1,800. We're straight in landing, so 980 feet is going to be our minimums for today. Let's minimize that. Let's go ahead and set our minimums. So we gotta drag, because if you want speed, you gotta drag it. 980 feet is actually the same as Dominica's minimums, so there we go. Perfect. All right, so we got 980 feet set. All right, so transition altitude is 9,000. Missed approach altitude is going to be 2,000. Final approach cost is 090. So it's runway 09er and 27 at the other end. All right, so our chart we're looking at is going to be chart 12-1, revised 26th of June 2020. The RNAV GNSS runway 09er into Castries St. Lucia at George F. Charles. We have not set our comm, so we're going to set our comm right now. See that we are on VATSIM. We're climbing okay, so we should be all right here. So I typically do this all the time, especially if I'm going anywhere. I tend to look at all of my stuff before I arrive. And because I know as soon as we hit our cruise, we're going to be descending, so there's no meal service today. All right, so let's check our go-around information. So our missed approach here is going to be our left turn, 2000 directed Dermy and hold, or as directed by ATC. So if we have to go around, we will be going around at our final approach fix. That way we could, you know, give ourselves enough time, because if we attempt to go around after landing, we're gonna need a lot more power to get out and make that left turn, because we do have terrain right at the foothold of the runway, and that's gonna be a mountain that slopes upward, and we're gonna have to be making some pretty split decisions. So we're gonna be making a left-hand turn out this way, and then we're gonna go over to Dermy. Now we will follow a nice little track which will take us around to Ottoman, and then we'll head over to Dermy, and then from Dermy it's gonna be right-hand turns all the time. But we're not gonna perform the whole. Once we start making that turn, we're gonna be selecting for our arrival again. Right? So that's pretty much it in terms of our go-around information. Again, 980 feet is our minimums. Anything, if we don't see the runway by 980, we will be going around. We won't be descending below 980 feet. No circle to land at the south runway 27. We will, it lands in the day only if the weather permits, but it's not something that you typically see happening a lot. All right, so this is pretty much it. And there goes Rex for some reason. Let's see. All right, let's see here. 5 minutes. Let's re-inject our weather, because it apparently is not injecting weather properly. So what you guys see out there, I'm just adjusting my Rex weather because Rex is injecting the weather pretty poorly right now. All right, it's injecting it right now. It says it's completed, and there we go. Perfect. Hopefully it remains that way. Thousand to go. You guys want to hear the sounds on the outside? This is what we sound like. This is what we look like climbing out. And yes, we do have a sound pack. So FT Sim Plus. We do have the sound pack for the ATR 42 and the 72. Which is cool. When I installed it previously and it did not work, but because I didn't read the instructions, but I read the instructions this time and it works perfectly fine. I can attest to that. All right. Popped off there, a little wind. All right, so we're at cruise. Switch over to cruise power. Gonna pull power back. Come on, right base. There we go. And we're in notch. Cruise power management is set to cruise navigates are as required. Seatbelt signs are off, and we're just going to be monitoring our flight and checking our weather. So we're going to pull up our flight plan here so we can see what our METAR looks like. Arrival weather today is at 1900 Zulu. Winds are 070 at 7 knots. Visibility, so Havoc, so clouds and visibility is okay. Also, our visibility is over 10 miles. Our clouds are broken at 2,300. Our temperature is 29 degrees, dew point 26, QNH 1015. No significant weather. Oh, we just had a little freeze there, a sim freeze, but we're okay. Let's see. That's in. That's out. And our top of descent is right after Fort de France. So we got to our cruise level right on schedule. So we're going to set up our landing performance here. It's going to be wet. We leave as is. This is basically our landing. Our approach speed is going to be 112 knots. Our go-around speed is 124 knots, so we are going to need to get we are going to need to get our little speed. We're going to need to get our speed up as we do our go-around here. Someone Center is online. So just continue it now. We got our top of descent coming up. Our VNAV will automatically engage, so because if we move our altitude selector right now, so we're going to go down to our altitude here 2000 and then 1800. And so we're over Fort de France right now. It's down there. There we go, making that turn. And if you see the clouds, our cloud cover is ridiculous. But we're getting down to 980 feet. We're okay. Keeping our VNAV set. Here we go for our top of descent. We kind of overdid that a little bit. 2000. 2000 is set. We're flight idle. Now we're VNAV path, which it was supposed to go down. Alright, so aircraft is heading down on descent. FWS is recalled. If I'm not mistaken, it's somewhere down here. Yeah, right here. Landing elevation is checked. It's auto. FMS, nav, and performance is set and checked. Decision height is checked. Arrival briefing is complete. We did that while we were in our climb. We're getting a little bit of speed there. It's okay. We can still do it up to 250 knots. We'll slow down to our approach speed here when we get down to that. That is a lot of weather out there. But I'm 100% sure once we get down and we start making our left turn in, there should be no problems. Right, currently all we do is just monitor our instruments as we go down on our descent. Monitor our instruments, monitor the weather, just to verify that everything is the way that we want it to be as we come down here. Pretty good airspeed for a descent. And if you guys are just joining us, we departed out of Dominica roughly about 24 minutes ago. We're heading down to St. Lucia. We're on approach right now. We're descending from flight level 160 down to 2000 for our approach. All right, our approach, passing 10,000 feet. We're gonna put on our seatbelt sign and our landing lights to on. Our anti-ice is as required. I'm not sure if we're gonna get some icing as we go down, but we will cross that bridge when we get there. Our cabin altitude is already checked, so we're all set with that. The cabin altitude is gonna be checked somewhere around there, so we're all set. Alright, we're going to try to get back on some of our power here so we don't overspeed the aircraft. Just making sure that my checklists are all set. I have them all printed out and in front of me so I can be able to follow through, make sure everything is going the way that it should, realistically. So we're gonna pull back on our power. All right, let's zoom in. Starting to go through some of the clouds. We should be getting down below the cloud layer, hopefully. So no weather, no rain. I don't see any rain. It's just basically clouds and cloud cover. So descent checklist. We got all these set. We have already checked these already. And our procedure is complete. Gotta zoom in. take off normal, icing. Those are approach. So our normal approach speed is going to be 112, 121 for icing. There's our wind data right there. Should be okay. We'll just keep an eye out for that. Could have sworn I heard rain, but there's no rain, so we're all set. Alright, we're coming back on the power. You see our airspeed bleed off pretty quickly there. That's the thing about the ATR. Once you pull on the power, it starts to bleed off quickly. That's how good the aerodynamic braking is on this aircraft. Here we go with our turn. Even in the 42, its aerodynamic braking is ridiculous. So our approach checklist, we've already completed that, so I'm not sure why it gave it back to me again. Alright, so we're making our turn in. Then we're gonna go ahead and set our altitude to 1,800, right there. Pop up our first degree of flaps. We're gonna get some power out. We can engage our approach mode. So we can get some vertical guidance. Now, if you notice, it is pretty interesting flying in here. We're not seeing. Okay, so I can see some of the land features. All right, there we go. We're popping out through the clouds, just barely. And we're getting into some of the clouds. So it's in and out. The mist is right there. In and out. In and out. Go down, flaps, our power management take off. We were right there, bruh. So sorry about that. Alright, our flaps to full. There we go, we got rain. 1,000 to go. Set 900. We're set 1,000. All right, let's go ahead. Taxi takeoff lights are on. Alright, logo lights is on. And we're all checked. Weather is a little bit iffy. But we're on our flight, VNAV flight path. We're following the aircraft all the way down. Or we'll let the aircraft follow its flight path all the way down. before landing checklist. Cabin crew is advised landing gear down, flaps checked. Power management takeoff, TRU lights is as required or checked. Icing the OA lights, and then our serial lights is on. All right. All right, so we're maintaining our airspeed coming in. That is a lot of rain. All right.
Approaching decision height.
Alright, so we're in go around mode. And we're going around. Set and selected. You can go gear up. Go head in mode. Get our flaps to go up. All right, we're at 2,000. Did a go around. Never what we like to see, but it's always, yeah, aviation by Ali. I know that I did have to end up doing a go around here, so we're gonna have to go and follow through with the published missed approach procedures, and we performed our go around flawlessly. Here we are, so we're gonna go parallel the runway, and then we're gonna go ahead and follow the published missed approach procedures. I was not expecting it to be, the cloud cover to be so bad, but we're gonna fly the published missed approach procedure, and we're gonna come back in for another try. So our flaps are all the way up, taxi takeoff lights to off, and we're gonna come back in for another try. Alright, heading west 270. Alright, looks like the weather is clearing up around here. Alright, so alright, we got that. yeah, it clears up pretty well. All right, so we're heading north. No, we're heading southbound, sorry. Let's get our power out. Let's see if we can see this runway again as we come in. There it is, so we can see where the rain is. And I think the weather radar only works with when you have live weather on, not with Rex. So the weather out there is frightful. We got Sable, Perf, got our VNAV, our profile, we're okay. Flight plan is not where we want it to be, but it's our go around where all right, here we go back again, back into it. Drop our flaps. We're still on approach mode. We're switching to head-in mode. Head-in select. Gonna fly this aircraft in. 1005. Full of power. Gear down. Headed east. And we're in the rain again. Talk about an interesting flight today. For the first flight. Our gear is down. Taxi takeoff lights are on. Alright, so looks like we can get in this time. Flap select full. And looks like this is gonna be, we are definitely gonna be diverting the aircraft if we don't see the runway once we get closer to it. First flight of the day and it's a divert. First flight of the day and we're diverted. That is not a good thing to see when you're flying it. See the runway lights or anything. We're still on head-in mode, so we'll be flying in. If it was just the wind, I wouldn't mind, but there's rain as well with it, which is going to make it a lot more difficult to fly this in. We have no view on the runway. A little bit low on our airspeed. At here. Yep, it is a no-go for our arrival today. Should be descending right now, but we're not. We're still climbing out. That definitely looks like we're going around again, and we're heading down to Barbados then. Is off and we're going down. When I looked at the weather here today, it was a little bit better than this. Gotta use our, we're doing instrument approach.
Approaching decision height.
Successfully
Decision
connected.
height.
We're continuing. Let's just go with it. The runway's right there. I'm 100% sure. And get that shot of my face, please. Like we're right there and
500.
We're not.
Approaching 09.
There it is. The wind. All right. Come on. I broke a few laws there, but
200. 150, 40, 30, 20, 10.
On runway 09. 900 meters remaining.
oh my Jesus, this was
On
it's-
runway
yeah, like, bro.
27. 800 meters remaining.
It's gonna be too much of a deep turn for me to make. God, that was one of the most frustrating landings I've ever had to make. And on the ground it's clear, but the rain is out there on the approach. Rain is out there on the approach. So that's where our issue is. Got no traffic, so we're gonna go ahead and head in. Was a pretty firm touchdown.
Approaching 09.
Was a pretty firm touchdown, but we did get in. Parking brake is set. Oh, forgot not to blind this dude. Alright, let's select our aircraft. Yeah, now the rain floats in. A lot worse here, but it's okay. Our prop brake is ready. So we're gonna go ahead. Wrong button. There goes our prop brake, and I have to do that because I don't have two condition levers. Alright, welcome to UNR, guys. Alright, so we're still in. But we had to stop a lot earlier than that, but we're good. Alright, aircraft, let's set on our chocks. Chocks are in. Our tail prop is on board, or our tail prop is out, but we gotta open our main door to do that. Flight controls are locked, probe, heat in. Go ahead and get these off. Area is checked. Flaps is set 0, trim 3 axis is reset. Landing strobe lights are off, anti-ice de-icing is checked, condition lever is off. Parking checklist, parking brake is engaged. Taxi takeoff lights is off, condition lever 2 is in, feather beacon is going off. Transponder, TCAS, surveillance, and we're going to standby mode. Tail prop is in position, seatbelt signs are going off. Alright, that checklist is complete. You're in the rain there, sir. Let's go ahead and request our additional services, our ground power unit. And wait for GSX to bring in our ground power. It's raining heavily out there, so definitely, and I'm the one who's gonna have to do the walk around. That's the interesting part. Huh. Why is this off? Not sure. Okay. Go ahead and switch those window heats off. These are all checked, so we're all set. And our parking checklist, parking brake is set, taxi takeoff lights, condition lever, beacons off, transponder is in standby, tail prop is in position, seatbelt signs are off. Alright, it's a new leg. Perfect. Here we go. Alright, so we got our ground power is not in yet. So we're gonna go ahead AC and DC ground power. Switch these to on. And shut down our engine. Alright again guys, welcome to Iwanara. We're gonna go ahead and do our deboarding.
Deboarding requested.
Our car door open. I'll let GSX do their thing. It's severely raining here. Alright, and we'll prepare for our next flight.
Passengers bus is coming.
Thank you. Gonna complete that flight. Flight time is 1 hour and 1 minute. We did do a go around. It's okay. And here comes the rain here in Dominica now. Something is processing.
Passengers deboarding starting.
All right. Alright, so we can head down to Trinidad or we can head down to Barbados. Barbados is a little bit rainy as well. Dominica has just started to get rain. So forgot that we gotta switch our fuel pumps to off. Beacon lights, nav lights, silver lights, these are all set, everything is okay. So prep for our next leg. I think we should head down to not St. Lucia, down to Trinidad, and then we will connect to the other locations. So we'll maybe go down to Barbados, or we'll go to Tobago, land, turn around, come back, you know, and do our flights through and through. So we're gonna go ahead and dispatch a flight over to Trinidad. And it's raining here in Dominica. I may need to go close my window in a second. TI, we're online on VATSIM. We're creating a booking. Give me a second, guys. Alright, here guys, so we're back. We've already set up our flight plan here. Oh wow, so we're 2-8 arrival into Trinidad. Okay.
Do you want to deboard crew?
No, we're not deboarding the crew. Alright, we're redoing our flight here. And our procedure is completed. Flight plan. We're gonna set that flight plan. So we got a new flight plan set up. Set up our fuel and set our payload. Okay, so still raining. We're gonna try to get out of here as soon as we possibly can, because as soon as everything is all set, I'm gonna go ahead and make some breakfast. We're gonna get, it's about an hour flight down, so we are definitely going to need to grab something to eat right now. So we're gonna load our aircraft here. Okay, so 1738 is what we need. 1779 to go. We're at 1900 kilos, so we do have enough fuel to get down to we have enough fuel to get down to Trinidad, so that's fine. That's what I was talking about. They typically do. All right, our estimated zero fuel weight 19,624, so we're gonna change that and get it where heavier. 624. We start that loading. We close. Setting our takeoff trim. All right, buddy is still deboarding, so he's gonna be okay. Alright, we're TLPC. We are departing runway 09 or over to St. Lucia, then we're heading out. Let's go to Navigraph charts here. This is basically a web server, I should say. Web viewing on the web, it's not nothing different, so that's why I could care less about it. Some marginal VFR. So on the ground it's marginal VFR, but on your approach it's literally IFR. We're gonna select our approach. All right, Kipiv. Somewhere breaking off at Talus and head over to Kipiv and come back in. So it's runway 28. The winds do look okay. Winds are calm. With the calm winds, I think we should be able to do a landing at runway 10. Yeah, it's 10, so the winds are 0 knots. We do have a CB though. Oh, we're not using ILS, we're using the RNAV. Napco. Let's add that to the route. And then we're good. Alright, I have 10. Execute that. execute that. We're all set with our new flight plan. We had so many bags. Oh yeah, we did have 3. That's right. These guys are in the rain, taking so much rain. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and pause here for a sec while we get everything else prepped, and then I'll be right back, guys.
Liquid nitrogen, no cool like all this type of friend. Who used to stunt on bicycle, them not a style again. Never avoid the ends, become a stuff to drive a Benz. Tell them go. Labas, blow cool like snow. Yeah, I feel them pictures at the grease round me the more I grow. Honestly, me not feel nobody energy, so me I hold my own. It go good that by airplane mode. Me no want nobody, I call my phone. One last day, real to the core, my bro. A lucky thing, so me no afraid of cold weather, brother. Still in my sweater winter. Sun and shine or the rain and fall, no make me better. Still I freeze, still I feel pain and I go through the pressure. Cut off the right and then a bullet fly through my left hand. Troublemaker, the journey in a nice youth. I cry tears, but them similar to Ice Cube. Strap up like the Air Force and on my white shorts. Goosebumps right through. Labas, blow cool like snow. Yeah, I feel them pictures at the grease round me the more I grow. Honestly, me not feel nobody energy, so me I hold my own. It go good that by airplane mode. Me no want nobody, I call my phone. One last day, real to the core, my bro.
Nation, the world a cool and a lucky thing. When a soldier you have a band with a crown on your head for walk them road, you may see serpenting at the grass, watch out for cobra. Ebola don't know say loyalty at the code. Me keep my enemies close, but keep my friends way closer. Cause the ones them where you rate the most, we turn you over trouble. Put in the work, my sleep, I stole you on the sofa. Most I protect, we no fear them all.
Labas, blow cool like snow. Yeah, I feel them pictures at the grease round me the more I grew up. Honestly, me not feel nobody energy, so me I hold my own. It go good that by airplane mode. Me no want nobody, I call my phone. One last day, real to the core, my bro. Troublemaker, liquid nitrogen, no cool like all this type of friend. Who used to stunt on bicycle, them not no style again. Never avoid the ends, become a staff to drive a Benz. Tell them go row, yo back bush. The little life I get to them now go find themselves. Hard freeze inside and no time I melt. Surprise them, look how we bust like vehicle time I belt. Nation, tell them the glow cool like snow. Yeah, this you know. Yo, troublemaker. Cool out, cool early. Born alone. Walk alone, stand alone.
escuta a capa ali, você for ouvindo, vai. Ui. Pretty face, pretty smile, ou qui chante à des bails d'or. Elle fait moi assigner un chaparé bail. Les emparés dans l'eau, il faut pas y pétaille. Acteur parliche, on s'en sac à bail. Big up to you. Hey, hold on, wait. Just feel it, I like your feeling. Close to me. On parle d'hier, c'est la femme à la tête. Pretty face, il capite tes secs. White girl boss, she know what she want. She want a big dog. She tell me, on comme t'es méchant. Méchant. Walk the keyboard, walk the keyboard, walk the keyboard, walk the keyboard, walk the keyboard. That's it, that's it.
Little boy, how we looking? What? One done. Little boy. How we looking then,
I hope you find someone else. I hope you find someone else.
I'm not the one.
To love you like I do.
I hope me to love you true.
To love you like I do.
Wow, I tell you all what I get in is mépris. Oui, bon Dieu, papa zo. Oui, bon Dieu, papa zo. Whoa, I tell you all what I get in is mépris. Oui, bon Dieu, papa zo. Oui, bon Dieu, papa zo. What? Every day is stress. Yeah, I cannot take it, baby, next. Lord God. Wow, every day is stress. Yeah, I cannot take it, baby, next.
I hope you find someone else.
Someone better than me.
I hope you find someone else. To love you like I do.
I hope so.
To love you like I do.
My belly big, like a cushion. I never hungry. I don't worry. You make a story on my belly because it's big. Because it's big. I tell you, big belly season. Big belly season.
Alrighty, you guys, so welcome back. I just got some stuff ready here for me to get my breakfast going. So we can start going. So we're gonna go ahead and get our boarding started here. Reload our sim brief. We're gonna do boarding.
Boarding requested.
No, we're not doing any pushbacks here. Boarding our passengers. Alrighty, yo guys, so today flaps 15 departure. We have about 60 something passengers. Let's check and see with our weights here. We got 60 passengers
Passengers
actually.
bus is coming.
About 14 less than, about 12 less than what we would normally be able to hold. Alright, let's go ahead and do our final cockpit preparation. We checked our electronic checklist. That is, procedure is completed. Alright, so we're on final cockpit preparation because that's the secondary checklist here. So our departure briefing, we did review our departure briefing here
Passengers boarding
previously.
starting.
Just to confirm, our weather today is pretty rainy. And I believe I should have selected runway 27 for departure so we can get a straight out departure out into the thing, because as soon as we take off, we're gonna have to be airborne and making that left-hand turn. But we can see the terrain up here, so that's not a factor for our departure today. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and complete our electronic checklist here. I'm gonna do it with the paper checklist that I have in my hand right now. So our parking brake is engaged. Our parking brake is right here. It is engaged. Altimeters are set 29901. Landing elevation is checked. FMS, com, nav set. Fuel on board quantity is checked. So we're gonna go down. Let's go over here. Gonna reset the fuel use. Demo panel is checked. Power management is takeoff. Checklist is complete. Alright, so let's go ahead and pause that music. We don't need that right now, so we are just performing our boarding. Passengers are boarding. We're just waiting for the ground crew to load our baggage. Perfect for us today. We will be using hotel mode, which is expected. Is it? Yup, we're working perfectly fine. There we go. Make sure everything is good up here. Okay. So again, it's a rainy day here in St. Lucia. We did perform a low visibility landing because we continued our descent below minimums, but then I was able to see the ground, so I just followed it, you know, at a pretty reasonable rate, go down, and then we were able to perform our landing. You're not supposed to do that. That is illegal. You will get in trouble for that. It's better you go around. But I wanted to get down on the ground and see what it was looking like here. But when we got down too low, I was able to see the runway. I was able to see the airport. So, but we were trimmed out so far back, so far aft, that I had to trim back out and then attempt to make a stabilized approach. Passengers are complete. Yes, passenger boarding is complete. We're just waiting for the baggage loading to be complete. Push our go around button. Head and hold low. Switch this to standby. LNAV is selected. All right. Flight directors are on. There we go. Just verifying everything is where they're supposed to be. Approach is inhibited. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna select our altitude for that climb, 5,000. There we go. Alright, what are we cruising at? Our cruise altitude is gonna be flight level 140, which is pretty low. Alright, he is doing everything. The sun is out. Sun's out, guns out. But we're all set here. And the rain is coming out again. So basically the weather is just rolling over and we're getting rain. That weather is definitely something that is floating over us here as well in the Caribbean, in Dominica, but it's like sporadic. It's in and out. All right, so 09ers for departure. We're gonna taxi down and the runway, turn around, power out. We're gonna be climbing out left turn after departure, and then we'll follow our nav. All right, let's go ahead and check our perf plan here. Perf in it. Our cruise altitude is gonna be 1 of 4,000. Weights are checked, so confirm 19624. Fuel on board is 1908. Gross weight is checked. Our reserve fuel is 736. All right, let's go ahead and put that in. Just quick maths. Where is it? Whoa, bro, you take long as heck, bro. Just put in a couple of bags. Okay. All right, let's see. Progress. St. Lucia. Frame distance. Check. And we're all good. Check out flight plan. 09er. Up to 1532 to St. Lucia. PNE. Rebor. St. Vincent, Reeses, Dussault, Grenada, Imro, Dukla, Napco, Lexer, Talus, and that's going to be our month. Take that out. Take that out, execute. And that's going to be our arrival. Always good to follow up with your on your flight plan. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start up our engines in hotel mode. So our fuel pump is on to run. Our service door is closed. Going to switch to start A and B. Our prop brake is confirmed to be on. Engine mode start 2. Is on. 10% NH. Let's go. Alright, so it's in feather, start selector off and start abort. And we can get our external power off and our AC. And then we can request for them to pull the GPU out. So you're gonna disconnect this. We disconnect that ourselves. Although you don't see it, it's pretty much there. Disconnect our ground power. He's doing his final baggage loading. Taking some time, isn't it?